Here we go. All right. So let's talk a little bit about organization. And one of the things that I kind of brought up earlier was that, okay, if you're organized, you're here on the call, you're making time to be on the call. So you already have that on your schedule, right? You're making it happen. And that's the biggest thing that you need to do is just blocking out time so that you can schedule it and have it focused and ready so that when you're going in to do whatever you need to do, it's like easy to do because you've already allocated that time. So for me, it's, waking up in the morning, working out, doing what I need to do early on, and it's just an automatic thing now. It hasn't happened. It didn't happen easily at first, but now it's just an automatic thing. So obviously the patience of that is going to be crucial. One thing with organization is that, and I asked a couple other people beforehand, is what do you think about when you think of organization? What comes up for you when you think of organization?
It's just like having a plan, I guess.
Okay.
And knowing where it all kind of fits in.
And do you feel like it has to be perfect?
Well, it depends. Like if it's like something I need to do, then more like if I like the spreadsheet as an example, not that it has to be perfect, but like I want to find a method that works for me and kind of stick with it. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't want to get too involved and then decide, oh, this is not for me. Like,
Okay.
I'm kind of scared about that, actually.
So you're scared of the commitment with the consistency of organization?
No, just like scared of like, oh, this way, I don't like this way. So I kind of stopped doing that. I've done that before with like calendars and stuff. I've gotten calendars and I'm like, I don't really like this, or I'm not consistent. And then I turn into not being consistent in like recording stuff or planning.
Okay. So, but when you've done that, it's kind of helped you actually, right? Like find out what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, it does. I just feel like it's it's like an investment, and
right. Mm-hmm.
Which it's silly. It's totally worth it, but then it's like that investment in time.
Right. So the investment in time just to do whatever you're trying to figure out, but then you're like, oh, it doesn't work, and then you become a value and a resource for that. So like, no, don't do that because I've done that, and you become knowledgeable with that and you can move on to something else. So if it didn't work, then you pick it up and you go try something else a different way. And anything that you put into it is going to be investment. It's going to be some time, and the time is going to be a big factor. And obviously time is valuable to us. It's hugely valuable to us, especially since we're working moms and going crazy and trying to build a business as well. But that's okay. And that's something that you won't find your method and your organizational structure of what you want to do unless you try different things and unless you fail at it. Like I said before, failure is just part of the process, and you have to accept it and know that you're probably going to fail at it. I've tried different ways until I finally found something that kind of works for me. And even now that I have found something, it's still evolution. It's still evolving every single step. I don't like this part, or that doesn't work for me anymore. Or, I'm moving on to something else. So it really is like trial and error. And also you're setting yourself up for your team. That's the way I look at it. Like, I'd rather try something and figure it out and try to see if it works or if it doesn't, so that I can show my team, hey, this is what, if you like Excel, then great, but these are the pros and cons. This is what I've migrated to. These are the pros and cons. I have learned myself, I'm quick to refer and slow to test. about things. Like I'll be like, yeah, go try it out. I've heard some great things about Teamsy, or I'm gonna go check it out. And then they're like, I look in a little bit more, and then I'm like, no, that's not for me. So that's where my fault is. I think I need to be more of a, okay, I get excited for it. Okay, let me look at it. Let me try it first, and then I'll promote it like crazy. And I kind of do it the other way around. But I feel when I do that, I find out what I really do like, because I've adjusted my organization and what I like to do based on my life and my needs and my wants. Right. So I would say go for it and don't be attached to the outcome, so that you can find out and make it work for yourself. So what I'm going to show you is kind of the things that I have picked and picked from different experts and from different sources that they have recommended, but I figured I pick certain things that I like and how to incorporate it not only into my life, but also into the Beachbody business. A lot of the things that you're going to hear are from the 30-day push group for Chalene Johnson, and then also Entrepreneur on Fire, Howard Lewis, lots of podcasts and things like that I've had. Okay. The best way that I can relate to how I structure what I'm up to is based on the little project that I had like this past week. And it kind of correlates to the Beachbody business, where we have challenge groups, right? Or we have like certain events going on. So I have an event this weekend for my son. It's his first communion, and my garage has not seen the light of day for like years. It really is just like a place where I hoard things. And it's been one of those, I'll get to it one day if and when, but maybe never. It's not on top of my list. Well, now there's this event that's happening, right? So I'm like scrambling and getting all like, So what I did was I set up a plan. Okay, if I broke it down, then I can get it done by Thursday or Friday before the party, right? So I followed the Pomodoro method. And what the Pomodoro method is that you're focusing on a business activity that you have structured for X amount of period of time. I like to do 45-minute intervals, but you can do, I like to do 50-minute intervals, but you can do 45-minute intervals. And what this is that you are focused and without distraction on that one task. Now, it can be for 50 or 45, depending on the project. It can be for 30. It can be for 20, depending on what you have set your standards for. For instance, in the garage, what I did is I set up for half an hour every single day so that I can focus on just one thing. And just like in the business, you have your power hour, or you have a project that you're trying to break down, or your invites, whatever it may be, there's going to be some distractions, right? So I try to eliminate those distractions. And the way I did it the way I was tempted with distractions when I was cleaning the garage was that our laundry room is right next to in the garage. And so I was cleaning one area and moving boxes. And at the same time, I was like, I can wash some laundry while I do that. I can just put a load in, right? And then that'll be washing while I get this done. And I was so tempted, but I know that what happens is I touch the clothes to move it, and then I was like, but then I'm going to have to sort them, and then I have to do this. So it's already taking time away from my primary project of the garage and taking it to doing a load of laundry, which I initially thought would take like a minute is now going to take like 5 or 10 minutes, and it's going to eat up into my time. So I have to catch myself when I get those distractions, and I have to say, no, focus, redirect. Same thing within our business. You're in your power hour, or you're just inviting, and maybe you get a ping from me or a ping from another coach or a challenger, and you're like focused on inviting. And then you're maybe like, let me go check what's going on there. And then you get sucked over there. And you're like, oh my God, I was in the groove and inviting, and you're not focused on that. So you need to be 100% present in what you're up to, whether it be your challengers or your invites or your coaches, because you want to give them 100% of your attention, just like they gave you 100% of their attention in order to sign up and join your challenge group. So that's one thing that I've gotten to a point where I can have my messenger up, but I can ignore it because I'm focused on one thing. I will like redirect myself, boom, boom, boom. And I catch myself constantly, like at least 10 times during a task that I'm involved where I have to redirect back to where I am. But the way I'm able to redirect is that I'm clear and focused on my purpose and my intention right at that moment for that activity. And then you can do a 5-minute message check where, depending on the project that you're doing, like for instance, I was cleaning the garage, and then I checked my messages for like 5 minutes, did a little stretch, and then I went back into it, or I went to a different task.
Okay.
I really love that. I did that a lot when I was at work. It helped me out so much, and it was really laser focused, and I got things done a lot faster than what I expected because I was clear with my messages and my responses, and boom, 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 boom. It wasn't like, oh, how should I word this? Or how can I be politically correct about this? It was just like boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm. Try that tomorrow.
What's that?
So I'm going to have to try that tomorrow. I have like a big list of things I have to do at work, but I've been so distracted lately that it's like been hard to.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that list as well, like on how you can tailor and focus on your list. Okay. One thing is clear is like your office space creates your mindset. So wherever your office space is and whatever your office hours are, be clear and communicate them to whomever is around. Like say, for instance, today I knew I had a call at 6 o'clock and then at 8:30. So I made it clear to my family and I told them like, hey, I have a call at 6 and 8:30. You know what to do. You have everything set up and ready for you. You have your list, like my kids have a chore list and of what they need to do and by what time they need to do and then what the rewards are. So, and they're good with that. Like Bianca needs to use the computer between 7 and 8 o'clock. Go by 8:15. I'm like, you got to move, buddy. You got to move. I always give her that cushion of space, especially with kids, because they drag. And it's the same thing with us. We always need an extra cushion of space. So I set up my office to be, to be my office and what I need to do. I usually carry my office wherever I go, depending on what I'm up to, because this office is used for multiple people, not just myself. So, like for instance, I have a bookshelf where I have all my programs and everything together in one area. So if I need to speak to someone in regards to a program or whatever, I know where to go and get it, grab it, and then come and talk to them. I establish my dailies on a daily basis, like what I'm up to for the day, what I'm going to be doing, who I'm going to be contacting, and what projects I'm doing and for how long and what's going on. So just your dailies, like what you're doing. And we'll go into that a little bit more on the items list. I have about 3 or 4 books that I use to really organize myself. I have my calendar, that big calendar that I think you have. Yep. So my big calendar, right? So it's a monthly calendar, daily calendar, weekly calendar, and it's for the entire year. So this is like my Bible. Like I take it everywhere I go, no matter what. I also have our team calendar, which is the one for the group. I think you can see it, and I print it out, and I kind of use that as my guide to help me for the month on what I'm going to be posting and what I'm going to be doing. You don't necessarily have to print it out, but I like to print it out. And then I also have 3 journal books. I have one journal book just for my daily journals, like a diary type of thing about anything. It could be about anything, kind of like what's coming up for me in the business, what's come up for me personally, anything at all whatsoever. The other two books are for my big ideas. So, and that book kind of travels with me wherever I go. So for instance, if I'm like hit by inspiration and I see something like at work or at business or something, and I'm like, oh my God, I so want to try that in my Beachbody business. Or, oh my God, I got to try that 7-day clean eating group. Or whatever it may be, I jot it down in one of my books. And I jot it down immediately because like there are times where I pull over and I will jot it down, or at a red light and I'm like jotting it down. I'm like repeating it as I'm driving. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, until I get to a red light and I write it down. Because if you don't write it down, chances are 100%, okay, maybe 95%, I'll give you 5% if you're like super skilled, you are going to forget about it. And then you're
all the time, like,
yeah.
Like, oh, that would be a good post. And then I think back and like, what was that about? I can't remember.
Right. So that is where your big idea book comes in.
Okay.
It's just a quick little jot of whatever is coming up. And I mean, I take that with me everywhere. Like I will be writing things down and people will be like, don't worry about it. They don't need to know. Yeah, Bianca's like, you don't need to. That would be a really good idea, Mom, for this. I'm like, all right, let's write it down, you know? So, and then my fourth book would be for like team calls. And if in the team call, I think that there's a great idea, I transfer it over to my big idea book. Yeah. So, but my team calls are just like my team calls because that's how I organize my life as far as business goes.
Real quick, you know, when we got together and you were writing your posts and stuff, was that in your daily journals?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That can be in my, like, just my daily, like, what I'm up to, what I want to do, anything that comes up, because I think the Facebook posts are very similar to what your journal is. You know, you don't have to be so transparent on so many things, but I mean, you can definitely communicate it on a top level.
Okay.
So I think that's a good one. I'm going to put that in. Daily posts on Facebook. Oh, and then using like the calendar. I didn't write that. You gave me an idea. Perfect. Okay. One thing that all of this is really sets you up for it to happen and for these items to be actionable is my vision board. Like all of these things, my office space that's a focus place, my dailies, my Facebook posts, my team calendar Facebook posts, my books, my calendars, that's all driven by my vision board. You know, it's kind of like a mission statement for a company, right? That's your overall mission statement for who you are. So really invest in doing like a vision board. Like you can do something like on a collage. It doesn't have to be like this big old fancy type of like 3D thing. It can be just like a collage that you make on Pick Collage or Pick Play or whatever it is. And it's just all the things that you want in your life and how you want your life to look like, so that you can have direction of where to go. So that's like your end result. And all these other items and all these other things to do will just happen and go into place. Okay. Okay, so these are the tools. You've seen my calendar, my journal, my notes, and my big ideas, my four like things that I carry everywhere. This to-do list maker. So this to-do list maker is excessively long for me. It's like ridiculously long. Like if you saw it, you would die. You'd be like, when are you going to do all this? And it's like, that's not the intention of what a list maker is. A list maker, this is a very good Shalene tip. A list maker is just there so that you know that what you need to do, where you're going with what you're up to. And the fact that you will do it because of what you're up to and your clear vision. So you have an intention, you have a purpose. These are just things you get to do in order to make that vision occur, but doesn't necessarily mean that you get to do them all in one day. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So when you say to-do list maker, is that like, is that a program or just,
No.
okay. Just
That's
keeping
just,
it.
you need to be a to-do list maker. You need to
Okay.
have that. Because, so for instance, for my son's first communion, I have like a long list of what I want to do and everything. Now, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do it all, but those are ideas that I have, that I like, that I envision, that I see, that I want to implement and I want to happen, right? So unless I have those lists, I won't know when to execute it or how to execute it, because I won't know that they exist and they're not written down. So I don't have to stress out about whether or not it's going to happen. I know that it's going to happen because I believe it's going to happen, because that's what my vision is telling me. My vision board is there for. So if it doesn't happen today, that's fine. Does it happen tomorrow? If it happens tomorrow, perfect. If it happens next week, awesome. Not that I'm procrastinating, but it's on my list that I need to do. Typically, we look at a to-do list as this stressful thing that has to be done today, right? It doesn't have to be done today. If you use the Pomodoro method and strike through those things, then you will complete your to-do list. But if you're doing a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and a little bit there, I mean, multitasking is fine and dandy, and I love it, and I can't sit still for the life of me. But multitasking, when you're doing projects, when you're doing to-dos, when you're doing things that you need to get done, it's setting you up for failure when you don't want to fail and you're already doing it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. Because I have I have just a to-do list at work, which includes pretty much everything I think of, but then every day that I come in, I star or, circle the ones that I want to focus on for that day. I actually usually do it the night before. And then I go to those things only.
Okay.
So as far as your to-do list, do you keep it somewhere in particular, like just running in your phone, or
No, I will write it down in my planner.
Okay.
It's like a long to-do list. Like, let me see if I can find. It's usually at the beginning of the month, and in that calendar, you can definitely do it. So here are like, I made stickies for them, and I put it on top of that one.
Yeah.
Underneath it, it has more, and this is my new set of stickies. So even I had like a bunch of stickies underneath it and a bunch of stuff, but then, so where is it? Right here? No, right here. So I didn't get to all those to-dos, so I put a sticky on top, and I'm putting up new to-dos.
Okay.
So that's one. But I'll just list it. I'll just go crazy. On your goal mind map and notes, this is back in the day. I didn't use it, but you can do it there too. I love that there. Where'd it go? So when you do your to-do list maker, when you talk about circling and making asterisks and circling what's important and what's not important, do you said you do that the night before? Do you do that at home?
Well, like for work, for my 8 to 5 job, I try to do it before I leave, so I know what I'm
Okay, good. That's what I was, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect to do right before you leave, so when you come in the morning, you know what to do versus doing it at home. It's the same thing in this business. So like when I know I'm almost wrapped up to do things, I end my day or my work session 15 minutes before I need to move on, and I look at what I've done, and then I say, okay, I've done great, and this is what I need to do tomorrow.
Okay.
So asterisks, circles, and then end 15 minutes before your work session. Wrap up and set up for next day. So that's always awesome. Perfect. Another thing is there's Dropbox you can use, or Google Docs and Google Drafts, Evernote, and Asana. Asana, I started getting into it, and I kind of am liking it, but I'm not totally promoting it yet because I'm going to test it out first.
Okay.
But I will vouch for Google Docs and Google Drafts. Dropbox, I tried it before, and it's a little complicated, and it's kind of.
I was gonna say I've used OneNote or something like that. I'm not too sure about it, but
Evernote is with the elephant, the green elephant.
I never heard of it. But I'm wondering. So Google seems like it's the easiest to use, but
Here's Google Drive.
So I wonder if there's any. Oh no, I have the drive on my phone. Oh.
Yeah, the drive on the phone will look like this one right here.
Yeah. So I guess I put one or two things out there.
So
okay, so how do I get to it on my desktop? It sounds dumb, but
so you go to your Gmail, right? And then you click on the little it looks like one side of the Rubik's Cube, and then you go to your Google Drive.
Okay, so when you have a document, what if you have a document on your computer? How do you get it onto your Google Drive?
You go to New, you go to File, Upload.
Oh.
And so then what it will do is it'll grab it, and you could Dropbox it. See that?
Any file, like a JPEG, a Word, an Excel document.
Anything you want.
And then you could access any of that on your phone.
Yes, and anywhere you go.
Huh.
Yeah, it's super awesome. And you can also share stuff. So like I have things that people have shared with me. So Coach Basics, I'm working with Ashley on a couple of things, a 5-day sneak peek, all this other stuff. I can see my Google Photos. If I had any Google Photos in my drive, I set up folders, and in these folders are like individual things, like my 7-day clean eating list, my group who attended, who didn't attend, who was active, who wasn't active, my survey, stuff like that. So I go back to my drive. I go into my transformations, the before T25 pictures, things like that. So I can set myself up here. So here are my projects, right, that I'm working on, or whatever I'm doing, or posts, or whatever it may be. I can even do one for my weekly Facebook post, right? And then I can create it in like PowerPoint or Word or whatever I want to do. So all I do is open it up, click New, click Google Doc, and then I'll put like, what is tomorrow? Week of May. Week of May 12th. May 12th, right? So here, I'll just start, like, I'll do, like, Thursday, and then, like, Friday, like, tomorrow. Well, we'll go into this a little bit later.
Okay.
So stuff like that, right? And then it'll be saved in here, my week.
What if they're like the 21-day fix eating list, the list of foods and stuff, like you had it in here and you wanted to send it to somebody?
If you have it just as a peg, say for instance, let me see if I can do a picture. Let me see if I can do, okay, let's see this thing. I could send it to someone. You can share it with like Alyssa. And I'm going to send it to you.
But that's only via email?
Yeah. So here, I clicked it, and then you could send it, send feedback.
Oh, wow, wait, how'd you sent it to me? It said shared.
Yeah.
What?
So what that means is that I shared my file with you. So
you shared it to my email address?
Uh-huh.
Which email address did you send it to them?
Let me see. I shared it to Alyssa Quealy at Yahoo.
But it came across on my Google Drive.
Yes, because it's a Google Drive doc. So if you're on Gmail, it's a Google Drive doc, it's only going to share it on your Google Drive, but it will notify you on your Yahoo email.
But how did it know? Like, I didn't even think that email address was connected to.
If it's on your phone, it knows.
That's a trip. That's why I was like, wait a minute. I don't understand.
Yeah, I had an Amazon huge mess up last week, and it was kind of scary. But
Uh-oh.
I was like, that email isn't even connected to that account. How do you do? Whatever. They fixed it. So there's no big deal. But your phone knows. Your phone it's like you have a shared access, or you've given it access. You've given Gmail. You've given your Drive access to your emails.
Okay.
So if you can access your email from there, you can do it. All right. So that's what I love about Google Drive. I can do a bunch of stuff. I can copy and paste it from my phone. I can do a bunch of stuff. I love it. Let's go here. Asana. This is how Asana looks. So Asana has, like, for instance, I need to focus on my website. I need to do a bio page, a testimonial page. I need to do a coaching page, whatever it may be. I open up the task. Well, I didn't complete it, but oh my God. I can add people. I can assign people. Oh, here it is. So I open up the bio and I talk about my bio. I want to write something about my bio here, blah, 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 blah. And then I can give myself a due date. I want this to be done by tomorrow. I want my testimonials to be done by, I would say, the 15th. I want my coaching section to be done by the 13th. So you see how I'm breaking it down? Like, I'm not going to be doing my bio page and my coaching all in one day. So this is just like a project that I have that I'm going to be breaking it down. So it's a really good to-do list that I like. And so far I'm liking it, and it's free.
Okay, I was going to ask you, is this the one that's free?
It's gratis.
It's what?
Gratis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's totally free.
Oh.
And it has like your inbox if your friends are on there, or like, say for instance, if I'm working on a presentation with you, then you can share it with me here. So it's kind of like Google Drive. Hold on. It's like Google Drive where you can share things in terms of a task to be completed.
Okay.
So the sharing capabilities are like, hey, Alyssa, did you complete your section of testimonials? It's due by, I want to have it done by Thursday so we can present it. I can get familiar with it on Friday, so Saturday we can present it, So it's like that. So, hey, Yvonne I just finished my testimonials like on Thursday. Alyssa, it's your turn to do it. Take a look at it, type of thing. So it pops up and it gives you, it's like a online virtual team assignment page. So you do it in that way.
Okay.
Okay, so here is where I get into the nitty-gritty. So now we've talked about like kind of your organizational structure, what you're up to and how to do it. Now, how and what systems you put in place for your challengers and your new coaches. Because that's pretty much what our business thrives on. Now, if you have a new challenger, you need to set them up right, just like you would do the same thing with your new coaches. You need to make sure that you either have one-on-ones with them or you have a group session in order to review the program and getting them set up right. So I usually do Zoom calls with those people, either because it gives them immediately you're starting them off on the right foot. You're getting them comfortable on video. They get to see who you are. They get to know what you're about, and it's a real life person. It's not just like some superficial or like some online person who's just like, I don't know who you are. I've never talked to you before. The challenge tracker, immediately set them up on the challenge tracker. Immediately, immediately set them up on Challenge Tracker and on the BOD app. Okay, so you want them to become familiarized with both of those things. Whether they have access to it or not, you want them to download it and to become to have it on there. You're only going to do that one time. Then what I do is I set them up with, this is considering that they've already been a challenger. Now I'm going to go into it and show you my Google Drafts and what I do when I first set them up. Okay, so I go into my Google Drafts and you're going to see a consistent thing that I do. I have templates for like everything. Okay, everything. I recommend that you have a template. Now, if you get asked the same question, or if you send the same question, or send the same email, I want to say 2 times. I'll push it to 3, but if I have to do it twice, I'm setting up a template because I know it's going to be. I know it's going to happen again. I just know it. So I usually don't wait for a 3rd time. I do it by the 2nd time, and I'm done because I want this to be a seamless process for everyone and have it so that it's duplicatable. It's automatic. All you have to do is copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And as you grow and get bigger, you want those organizational skills to be ingrained in you. So it's just like melted butter, on nice warm toast. So what I do is, for instance, there's a 21-day fixed challenge group. Okay, I started inviting to the 21-day fixed challenge group. Here I have an email about the 21-day fixed challenge group and what it is, what Shakeology is, all this other stuff, right? Okay. I started to get leads. Okay, welcome to Team Beachbody. I'm your free coach. Blah, blah, blah. All it is copy and paste. So if I get 5 leads in 1 month, or 6 leads in 1 month, or 10 leads in 1 month, whatever it may be, all I'm doing is copy and pasting that email, right? I don't have to regurgitate the same thing. I don't have to go into my sent file and where does that, no. I name it Free Beachbody Coach and I send it like that.
Does it always, I think in Yahoo or something, it doesn't stay in drafts once you hit send?
I don't know about Yahoo, but here, if I don't address it,
then it'll stay. So you literally just copy paste it out of there, put it into a new email. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So when I knew that there's another challenge group that's starting, I did this one, right? Because I know you love it, because I know you'll love it or whatever. I did a YouTube video for people where it's hey, I can't wait for you to start our next challenge group. It starts at da day. I did a YouTube video specifically for this challenge group. I posted some pictures. I showed them the group page. This was back in October. I like this format, and I copy it and I do it for every new one. All I do is replace the header for the fitness group, whatever we're up to. And I change the date, but I keep it. It's my template. Drink with a discount and for free. Hey, did you ever think about getting the coach discount? This is what you get. This is how much you save. This is your reduced shipping costing. And hey, here's a comparison chart for you to understand what's going on. When a new customer signs up, I have a customer challenge pack to sign up and reimburse them. Say they were a challenger and then they want to be a coach. So all they have to do is, this is what you need to do in order to sign up to be a coach, right? This is what I'm going to be doing afterwards. So after I send that email to them, then I'll check in with them. We'll see what's going on. Automatic and recurring email campaigns, I have found, and I'm not jumping in it, but I have found that Automatic CEO has those lead campaigns. So I am jumping on to do that. And I will give you guys feedback on how it is, on if it's really good and what it's not, the pros and the cons of it. That one is a paid system, but as you grow, you will need a CRM system, and that's $25 a month, I believe it is. But up until this point, I have not had a CRM system because I've had these drafts. Okay. I'm now starting to do a draft for when I get a new coach. So every time you start up into a new path, my recommendation is to start a template. If you know you're going to sign up a new coach, you're going to sign up another one later on, right? Mm-hmm. So you know you're going to have to duplicate that system. So immediately when you sign up a new coach, say, Yvonne, sign up a new coach. What are the steps that you do? Boom, these are the steps. I can email them to you like super quickly. Okay. And I believe they are also on Team Beyond on what to do for a new challenger, what to do for a new coach.
Okay.
And where to send them off. And it's like a checklist. You know, like a business builder welcome. So things that I know I'm going to duplicate, like I said, if I get the same question twice, immediately I set up a template. Okay. If I know I'm going to have to do it again and duplicate it, I set up a template because what are the things that we do? What do we thrive on? Challengers and coaches. You know that those are always going to happen every single month. With a new challenger, what I do is I set up their recurring Shakeology order on their Google Drive. On their Google Calendar. So what I do is immediately, if they're just a challenger and they didn't sign up as a coach, then what I do is I set them up with a Shakeology reminder 2 weeks before their next shipment comes up, then 1 week before their next shipment comes up. This is if they're a challenger and they didn't sign up as a coach. And then I'll show them what to do, what their options are. This is how you can log on and change your Shakeology. You can change your flavor, delay your next home order, change your ship date, or change your shipping address. There you go, right? What I also do within those 2 weeks, it will pop up and say, Nancy's Shakeology is due in 2 weeks. That'll prompt me to immediately send an email or a message to them. Hey, this will prompt me immediately.
So that comes up when you use the calendar?
Yes.
So
because that is sent to their email address, and then if they accept, it will be added to their email address. To their calendar, sorry.
They have to have Google, right?
Not necessarily, no.
Do you use Google Calendar for anything else?
Yes, I use it for everything.
Okay, so you write it down in your big calendar.
I don't write down in my big calendar.
Okay.
I can, but I haven't, just because the email system is prompts me. It'll remind me 2 weeks before their Shakeology comes up, and as soon as that 2 weeks comes up, what I do is I send them an email about the discount.
So when you set it up,
and I send them this. I just want to make sure you receive the email notification that your next order of Shakeology will ship on April 20th. I am committed to remind you, and I want you to know that I'm sure that that I'm supporting your workouts, nutrition, and the mechanics of it all. I know you love Shakeology, and so do your kids. The cost was of concern, which is why I wanted to let you know about this other stuff, which is the 25% off, the shipping, blah, 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 blah. And this was the cost comparison sheet.
Okay.
So 2 weeks, it'll send that email. And then in 1 week, I say, hey, you haven't, in 1 week, it'll say, hi, let's get you signed up as a coach so you can get your Shakeology order on a discount. And, I touch them twice within that month.
Okay.
If they're a coach, then I just set up the reminder 1 week before.
And so you just do it the first month?
No, I do it never ending. And then they can make adjustments to it. So on the calendar, it says modify event, so the guests can modify the event if they want to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right now I keep them all in my head, but I only do it the first month.
I have it automated. You can't. It's very difficult to keep track of everyone's Shakeology order, when it's due or when it's not due. and I hate to go into the COO and manage it manually. It just drives me crazy. It's like, so I just do it via email here. And so when it pops up, I know to send them an email immediately. And it's a click, email campaign. So that's what like email campaigns, I'm doing email campaigns like pretty much manually right now, but in Automatic CEO, they're set up so they do it. You can create your own emails in your own drafts, however you want it to be, and present it however you want it to be, so that when their Shakeology order ships, then you let them know, just like friendly reminders. Hey, your Shakeology is coming up. I'm so glad, I've been craving mine and mine just came in just in time or something like that.
Okay.
So the same thing with Automatic CEO. It will also do like weekly emails, transformational stories, things that you want to do. So it's an automatic thing, treating your business strictly like a business. So they know that they can come to you versus you trying to hound them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing to do with my new coaches. That's the same thing that I'll do with the new coaches. I've started to do a little bit more on Team Beyond with like resources, tutorials, and stuff like that. Like I said, if you get a question more than twice, you better do some duplication. Whether it's creating your own little script that you've used and it worked well with somebody else's on like price objections or obstacles or commitment issues, or recurring Shakeology, or how to get into my access, or whatever it may be, that means you need to set up a system for them. And you can always reach out to me or go into Team Beyond and see what works for everybody. Also, I think that's when videos are truly, truly crucial. And let's talk about, I'll go into YouTube uploads and videos right now. So that's where I really think that videos are crucial, because, people get to know you, who you are, and you can upload them to YouTube and say, hey, here is a video of me, check it out. Your YouTube videos can be private. They don't need to be public. Okay, so that's one thing that I want to let you know. I'm going to send you over to my YouTube channel. So on my YouTube channel, you will see that not everything that I have is public, and it's only given access to people who have that link, right? So what I'll see is the ones that have like a little lock on it. That means those people or those videos are only accessible to the people who I've sent a link to. Okay, so these over here that do not have it, those are public.
Okay.
So for instance, the Coach Mobile app, like I think it's really crucial for your business. And then I've also had a lot of people ask about it. So I said, I'm going to do a tutorial on it. So that's what I did that.
Okay.
So, and it gets you comfortable being in front of the camera as well. And then before you know it, you're going to be posting everything like publicly.
Yeah.
So here is where the Facebook posts and social media comes in, and your list of to-dos, okay? So what I like to do, and what I think I've told you already before, or kind of like let you know what's going on, is I like to plan out my week with my posts as much as possible. I already know what my posts are going to look like for tomorrow. I'm probably actually tomorrow, let me think, I'm thinking. I might not change it up. I might change it up depending on what I'm up to, but pretty much it's going to be like multitasking mom in the morning, blow drying my hair, reading some personal development, brushing my teeth. Hey, gotta do what I gotta do in order to get my stuff done, right? Then for lunch, I think I'm going to do, I had it set up. I have my picture set up. I take pictures like crazy. I have pictures from like last week that I was like, oh, that's a good post. I'll have to do it one day. And I never did it. And I said, oh, I'll do it next week, What is it? Where is it? Anyways, so like I'm doing my hair. Oh, another one, I dropped shake. I spilled, I like exploded the my Shakeology, and it landed on the counter, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I spilled it. And immediately I was like, oh my God, I wonder if I should lick it. And I was like, that's a really good post. So I like took a picture of myself, like, so that'll probably come up sometime this week. I didn't have time to do it, and I didn't want to do it because I already posted or already had something else planned for Shakeology today. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. So I don't think that your Facebook should run you. And so we have to set up a plan in order to make sure that it doesn't run us, that we are running our business like a business, so we can focus on other projects, whether it be, getting in front of the camera, or whether it be building a website, or whether it be setting up automatic systems and email systems, or whatever it may be. But scheduling our posts is totally, totally crucial. So I do set up my workout clothes for the week. And maybe I'll do a little fashion shoot that'll take like maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and I'll look at Pinterest and I'll look for different like workout poses, and I have it in a hidden board so nobody else sees my workout pose, because I don't want them to see my workout pose and then they see it on Facebook that I mimic them. So I hide those, and then I'll get ideas. What's that?
On Pinterest, you have a hidden board?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you can hide boards on Pinterest, or you can only have like certain groups on Pinterest, so only certain people are involved in it. You can do that as well. It's kind of like a little challenge group on Pinterest.
Huh. Okay.
Fun. So I'll also look for personal quotes that I like, something that struck me, something that I like, something that I can really gravitate towards, and I'll save those. I have a motivate me board, a fit board, like different boards for different things, and sometimes a girl boss, board, and that one I'll keep open. So whenever I feel like I need inspiration in the business, then I go there and I try to source it from there. And then I'll plan out my week and my quotes, and I'll plan out my graphics for the week too, because I've already taken those pictures. But I'll leave the ungraphic picture, the raw, and then the graphic picture, because I never know what I want to use. And if I want to, maybe I'll just do a sweaty selfie based on my inspiration in my workout and how I felt, So I have options versus limitations. I've created those options for me versus like being stressed out. Oh my God, I gotta post my workouts all day. Oh my God. In my challenge groups, I really don't care. I like post whatever, and I look raw and unedited and just like, this is what it is, because I want to make everyone feel comfortable. I don't want anyone to feel like, oh my God, it has to be perfect. It has to be this. On my Facebook title, it's a different story. When I'm talking about the challenge groups, I want them to be more active. So that's why.
That's like part of mine is like I'll have some stuff written, but then I don't have a picture, and I'm like in a crunch, and then I'm like, what do I do? I don't have anything to post with it, and I've done like the generic quotes and stuff, but that doesn't work out as well as when I do like a more thought out picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely need to like
take pictures like crazy.
Yeah.
Take pictures like crazy. Delete your selfie pictures that you put in your Facebook groups so that you can have more storage on your phone. Take pictures like crazy. And then when you're done with them, delete them.
Okay.
Especially selfies. Because selfies,
Yeah.
I mean, how many times are you going to
Oh my gosh. And I have like, no, that one didn't turn out good. So I take like 10 more.
Yeah, I've done that so many times. I think today alone, let's see how many selfies we took today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I took 20 selfies today.
Oh.
So, and I used 2. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll talk about another day and that's an entirely different call on how to use your Fit page and your Instagram, and then showcase your personal timeline as like the mess outside of all the prettiness. so they can feel like, oh, that's how she is behind the scenes, but your fit page and your Instagram, well, that's how, the end result comes out to be.
Right. Well, I don't have a fit page.
It's okay. You don't have to have a page.
And I have Instagram, but I have not used it at all.
I know. That's an entirely different call, which we'll go on.
Yeah. Okay.
So as long as you downloaded Crowdfire, then we'll be good for next week. We talked about selfies and files, and then YouTube uploads. What I love about the YouTube videos is that you can really send maybe a prospect or someone that you're talking about the coach opportunity to with a video, because it gives them like, oh, this is a real person. Or you can do a voice memo too, like when we talk. So those are really great as well. And that is pretty much how I plan my day.
That's awesome.
And my week. And my month.
A lot of good tidbits. So let me ask you, when you weren't like this immediately, right? So
No.
I'm going to start coaching, and then bam, have this all well thought out. So how long, like I'm just looking at it, and it seems like such a big project that I want to try to like break it down into small pieces. So just out of curiosity, like how long do you think it took you to get to this point where you're...
This is my first time making an organizational call, so that might say something, that I finally got the groove of it. But like I said, it really it's an evolutionary process where it gets better as you get better. This is all put together based on like what I do, and because I had to put it down on paper to show you what I do. But I mean, it's taken a while for me to figure out what I like. The Pomodoro method is something that I just like recently picked up, like maybe early January. So it's not like I've been doing that from the beginning that I started, right? The calendar is something that I just started this January. The to-do list maker that I've had before, but I never really knew how to work it, and I never understood the method to the madness of the huge list maker until now. Like things don't happen and click for you unless there's something. Google Drafts, I've been doing that for like ever, just because I picked that up from corporate America, where it was like really just annoying to be sending the same thing over and over and over again to the same people. And it's great because it's new for them, but for you it's not, right? So I was like, look, I'm sending the same information. You're going to get the same thing. Instead of me typing it, I'm just going to copy and paste it. Right. And it clicked to me one day when someone said, yeah, I want something. And then they sent it to me like that. And I was like, dude, did they have it typed up? And I read it and it's like, well, it has everything that I need. And I was like, I'm going to pick that up and do it for my clients. Yeah. So I do it for their clients. So it's just something just like that I've always had to do. It's the same thing, I'm sure, in your line of work where you have certain templates for certain things. Like this is what you need to follow. This is what you need to do. This is how you do it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess I didn't think about sending it as drafts, because like in Outlook, again, as I would enter an email address and then it just sends it. So I would go to my sent file and copy and paste it, but I like having it in the drafts because, trying to look through the sent file is a big pain in the butt too, to filter through everything. So I like that idea of keeping it there.
I think that's like the biggest thing that everyone really enjoyed from the other call, the drafts. That's really saved me a lot. It really has.
That and with the to-do list, I like sometimes I feel like we try to keep everything in our heads that it's like so stressful to try and remember that. So like just putting it out on paper, and it's just like, you can kind of like forget about it in here to focus on other stuff because that it's written down and you can go back and see that again. So
yep. Yep. I agree. Because you're so caught up in like, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget,
Right.
don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. And then you're like,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
and then you stress out about forgetting and then nothing ever materializes. So yeah.
Okay.
What things, let me think. I think some people like the weekly post. Other people like the, what you had said, the list maker, the journaling. A lot of people love the drafts. Um, mm, okay. What organizational tools or tips do you have that you think are beneficial and like to share with us?
Well, the list maker I've done more in my, my regular job, but I need to bring that more into the Beachbody. Like right now, I just put stuff on stickies, but I need to like put them in one list. I think would be most valuable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, what do I do? I mean, I set reminders on stuff and again, I know I need to focus on treating this business more like my business, but so when I talk about organization, I'll probably mention it more. What I'm doing on my 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 job is, setting reminders on emails that I receive. It's like if I can't get to it then, but it's critical, I put a reminder that says, I need to deal with this by X date.
Okay.
So I really like that, what you do for the Shakeology reorder.
Mm-hmm.
That's because right now it's like, oh, I kind of keep it in my head and I send them an IM or private message and I say, here, just a reminder, So that's kind of stressful. It's like, oh, what if I forget? Or,
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, definitely. So I mean, that's a courtesy that I do. They should remember because we talked about it like at the beginning with them when they got set up. But I agree. That's something that like it's taking away from growing your business.
Right.
You're maintaining, which is wonderful, but it's taking away from growing your business.
Right.
So if you can have automatic systems in place in order to help you with organizing your business, then that's definitely going to help you and like create less stress for you.
Right. Right.
One other thing that I did want to show you is my Google Calendar. This is my Google Calendar, and I schedule everything to taking a shower. Because that takes time. And it starts way up here, okay? All the way to taking a shower. So one thing that even at the beginning, I still have it, having my Facebook post reminders, post on Instagram and Facebook, post on Instagram and Facebook, post on Instagram and Facebook. I have it 3 times, it's like everything. And this is something that Shalene Johnson also has in her 30-day push, along with the list builder, along with the big ideas, and what was the other one that she has? A couple other things that I picked up from her. So yeah, at first I was really hesitant to this, and now that I've done it, this is how, if you want to do one thing out of how I started, it was this. This is how I started.
You can color code it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I started with scheduling my calendar hour by hour. And I was completely resistant to it when I first started, but completely in love with it. And I'm so glad that I did it because it's allowed me to just do it and do it and do it and do it. It's just like, that's just part of it. And like now I need to schedule other things in there.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. And I like that's the thing that irritates me about keeping it on my phone is that I didn't really have access to it on my desktop or on my, my laptop. But I like that I could use Google calendar. I've never tried it.
Yeah, I agree. Me too. I love Google Calendar.
Where is it? Hold on.
So when you go into your Google Drive, see
Okay.
the little Rubik's Cube, like one side of the Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
You click on that, and then you go to your calendar.
So I'm trying to find it on my phone.
It's a I think it's an app that you have to download. I think you download it.
Okay. Because I have a whole Google Suite, but that's not in there. So I'm going to have to.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. I have Google Plus. I don't know what that is.
Google Plus is just like a social media.
Oh, no. Okay. Awesome. I think I got some good stuff to work on here.
Awesome. Perfect. So that is pretty much our call for today.
Awesome. I got one-on-one time.
You did. It was really cool to see you.
Hey, Brandon.
Oh, she said hi, Brandon. You're on speaker. I'm going to stop recording.